My name is Hope Gardner, Colony Row 351. We need help.
The Infinite Warriors are closing in. You saved us before. Bring the lady with the dark eyes. Bring Molly O'Sullivan. You can save us all.
Lord Jalda, human is here.
You are strong-arm.
Sally Armstrong. You know my interest. The humans.
Ramossans are not part of this war. Maybe I speak to Eminence. So when it wins this war, it will be a friend to Ramosa.
Ah, Liv, the fellow you let in, the doctor.
He's gone, Professor.
Good. A deluded lunatic.
What did he say?
That my research was a danger to the future.
Sometimes the best way to fight a fire is to make sure it doesn't get started. I'm taking away your matches.
Your mind opens, Doctor. We will take it completely.
Sounds like one of your typical schemes.
Oh, on the contrary. This is my master plan. Every eventuality has been considered.
You shall all fall to the might of the infinite. Die!
You need to order your people back into the jungle. Hide.
We stand and fight. Run, warm blood, before I spill it.
Hi guys, TardisGuy123 here, and welcome back to the second part of my Dark Eyes 3 review, this time looking at the Reviled. Now, I called it the Revealed or something like that in my previous videos, so I'm sorry about that. It is, in fact, called the Reviled. Not that it really matters too much, you know, it's never really mentioned in the story at all, and it's just a title they chose, and it's a rather intriguing one. So, yeah, what does it all mean? Well, this is another kind of like story set in the backdrop of the Eminence War, and it continues on from the ideas that were set up in the previous story, The Death of Hope, but obviously it kind of like changes it a bit. The Master's in this one a lot less, and the Doctor's back in the swing of things after being out of it last time. You know, he's much more in the story this time, and also Nicola Walker is as Liv Chenka. You know, she was mentioned in the previous story, but wasn't actually in it, and this is very much her stories and the Doctor's, and they kind of like take two different sides of the story, not sides of the story, kind of like different strands of the story, and then meet back up towards the end and whatnot. And you know, it's a very interesting story, a very interesting idea, kind of like, you know, set on the colony world during the war with two different species, you know, the human colonists and the native Ramossans of the world, Ramosa. And you've got an interesting dilemma there in the fact that they really don't get along, they really don't like each other, and then there's a lot of hostilities going on, which of course kick off here, and the Doctor really does try to help. And you know, it's odd because, well, The Death of Hope, you know, the title would make you think that, you know, it kind of means the end of all hope and whatnot. This story feels much more downbeat, and kind of like, you know, the ending really does feel much more like A Death of Hope than The Death of Hope did. Now, not to say that Death of Hope's ending was all happy and go-lucky and whatnot. It was quite downbeat, I guess, but this was much more downbeat than that. And you know, it really did kind of like symbolise the death of hope for the Doctor, I guess, in a lot of ways. You know, and it's a very interesting story in that sense, especially for the Doctor. Now, some of the human characters do get a bit annoying at times, but you know, it's nice that they are well characterised, but I don't know, I just don't really find them that fun to get along with. They are quite annoying, and you know, you really do hate them at some points. And personally, I felt sympathies with the alien species for a lot of this story, the Ramossans. Although, well, I guess they're not technically, well, they are technically alien, but on this world they are native inhabitants, so you could argue that they're not alien. I don't know. It's a different philosophy and whatnot, but they are quite interesting. They're quite an interesting species, and they kind of like point out this fact that the humans fight amongst each other, whereas while they fight against the humans, they still get along with each other. And you know, that kind of like raises an interesting point. And also, since the Master's in this one a lot less, he only has like 1 or 2 scenes. You know, he's very much kind of like, he's doing what the Doctor was doing last time a bit, kind of like stepping back and looking at the situation from afar. And while he's not continuously interrupting and commentating over it, he's still kind of like very much there in the background, whereas it's more focusing on Natalie Burt as Dr. Sally Armstrong in this, and kind of like her negotiation skills and whatnot. And she gets to kind of like face off against the Doctor in this. And that gives an interesting dynamic. You know, it's nice not that they held off the Doctor and Master encounter in this. You know, they held that off because they know that's what we want to see. After all, the box set was kind of like termed the Doctor versus the Master in a lot of ways. So, you know, holding that off was quite nice. And of course, it all comes to a head in the next episode, Master Plan, which I'll talk about later. But yeah, and then the Eminence in this plays a small role, but still it's there and it's quite interesting. And this is very much kind of like a self-contained story in a lot of ways, but you know, it's still kind of like got all that stuff going on in the background and whatnot, but you could very much listen to this without having listened to the other parts and still get the general gist of what's going on, really, and you know, enjoy it for what it is. I'm not sure I've talked about Nicola Walker's performance as Liv Chenka yet, but I think she does a very good job in this. She really, she's much more downbeat companion. She very much fits the dark eyes, kind of like, you know, the darkness of it all and whatnot. Very downbeat tone and everything, and she kind of fits that quite well. And it's, you know, her relationship with the Doctor is quite interesting in this, I feel. You know, obviously they don't spend too much time together, but it still works quite well, and she gets to interact with some other characters, which is quite nice. And you know, she really is the character you sympathise with when she's talking to the humans and whatnot. Because, as I said before, not too fond of the human characters, but she kind of like makes those scenes worth watching, I guess. And then you have kind of like the Time Lords in this, who don't play too big a role. They're very much in the background, but you very much kind of like get the idea that you're not sure who to trust with them. Like Narvin, you're not sure whether to trust him or not. And maybe those people who listen to Gallifrey and whatnot will actually trust him. But, you know, since I haven't listened to Gallifrey and everything, I'm kind of on the side of the Doctor here where I'm not sure whether to trust Narvin or not at the moment. So, yeah, that was quite interesting, I feel. And there's kind of like loads of other Time Lord stuff going on, which is quite dark in a lot of ways as well. You know, kind of like it shows a lot of the lengths that the Time Lords will go to stop the Master, and there are quite dark lengths in that. So I think that idea was very interesting and very well done as well. However, the ending, you know, there's kind of like a reveal for Liv Chenka's character done right at the end of this story. And, you know, it's kind of like hinted at earlier in the story, so it's not totally out of the blue. But, you know, it's hinted at earlier, but she says, "Oh no, don't worry about it." But then it comes up at the end, and I won't reveal what it is. But it just kind of like feels like it's too much out of nowhere in a lot of ways, I guess. And then it comes back, and then it's just totally forgotten about, almost. You know, the Doctor just goes off on a tangent, you know, after he hears what Liv has to tell him. And I'll talk more about that in the later stories as well. It does crop up again, and I wasn't too fond of it there either. And it just feels like a plot that was very much pushed towards the background, the Dark Eye Spirit. It kind of like came up a bit, but was very much kind of like drowned in all the other big plots and whatnot, which are arguably more interesting. But you know, I feel this plot would have deserved some attention, but unfortunately didn't get it, and you know, that kind of like fails the emotional impact of it. But anyway, you know, the Reviled, sorry, I keep doing that. The Reviled, if I called it the Revealed in this review, I'm very sorry, but it's the Reviled. And overall, it's a good episode, you know, but it's not as good as The Death of Hope was. And there are some parts of it which do feel a bit rushed. It's that kind of like 45-minute syndrome. Even I think this is actually 50 minutes to an hour, actually. But it's kind of like that shorter story thing that has going on here. But, you know, other than that, it's a good story. And I think I'll go, no, I'm going to be generous. I'm going to go 8 out of 10 for this one. And, you know, if you look on the cover, just below Liv Chenka, you'll see 2 claws, and you'll think, ooh, what could that be? That looks very much like something, but it's not what you think it is. Unless you've seen the story, and then you know it's not what you think. Not seen the story, listen to the story. What am I on about? But yeah, unless you've listened to it, then you'll know that's not what you think it is. But, you know, I think it would be cool if they did include that. But as I said, it's rather overcrowded as it is. So, good episode, 8 out of 10. Not as good as The Death of Hope. But anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. And I'll see you all next time with the review of The Sea Devils, followed by the review of Master Plan, which is a very good episode, I'll say that now. but I'll say no more until a review. So see you next time, everyone.